Get started. Good morning, good evening, and welcome to everyone who wished to fall into the pit. This is the Demon Venue, a character introduction. Today's scene is going to take place somewhere, somewhere in the Bronx, where a certain human being is waking up. He probably had a rough night previously, as he is a person that works. He works a lot during the night. It's those kind of nights where, oh, you never get a thank you. You just have to do your job, and that's all that we ask of you. So perhaps you would tell us a little bit more as you wake up after having done a job the day prior, Mr. Zane Mathis. How do you how do you begin your day?
He's going to roll, you know, roll into a sitting position at the edge of the bed and sort of just stare at the ground for a few minutes and kind of leave the alarm clock blaring at his side. He's you know probably taken a few hits from a struggle the night before. Maybe some bruising on the ribs or something. But eventually he'll you know get himself going and uh, in the bathroom, um, pop a pill and take a shower, all that other good stuff. Basically,
Hmm.
um, you know, kind of what any person who doesn't have a day job might do, kind of at a leisurely pace.
Hmm. So as you go through your morning routine, which probably probably Zane had be a bit of making every day. He's probably, I guess, he's probably a man that see that everything must have a place, everything set. Everything has to work a certain way.
Very regimented. Yeah.
Hmm. So as you go through this morning routine, you're you're seeing that your phone is vibrating.
He's gonna look to see who it is before answering.
It's not a call. It's a message.
Oh, okay. He'll look at it to see who it is before answering
Mhm.
it.
So the message is from your ex-wife.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where he's just gonna look at it and just frown. He doesn't even know what it is, but he knows it's not good.
Hmm. Do you listen to the message?
No, he'll uh he'll finish whatever it is he's doing. Let that one stew for a little while.
Hmm. And a few hours pass. You do your thing, and at some point, the phone is ringing. Not, your phone. It's
The
the
burner phone.
phone,
No.
the special one.
Yeah, he'll answer it immediately.
On the other side of the line, there is a voice that you have come to know through all your years working for those fine gentlemen. It's the voice of Marco. Hey, did I wake you up?
No, no.
Mm, good. I want you to come to the bar, as always. I have a job for you.
You gonna have the money from the last one?
Of course, who do you take me for?
Hey man, I gotta be thorough. One day you might try to
Yes,
actually take advantage of me.
don't worry. The family is always thankful for the job that you do. I will see you there in 1 hour.
All right.
So, do you make any special preparation as you have your date for the day?
About what time is it?
Right now, after taking your shower and everything, it's
Okay.
11 a.m.
Uh, Pretty much the kids got up and went to school without any help from him or wherever they go. He doesn't really follow them that much. He assumes they went to school.
Yeah, probably went to school. Who knows?
Who knows?
You don't really care after all.
No,
You
he
know,
doesn't.
they're old enough to take care of them.
Yep. So he's not he's going to get dressed. He's got like a suit that he wears for such meetings.
Mhm.
Um, Ever the professional, and he's going to check his weapon, make sure that it's in working order.
Mm. Yes, the weapon is in working order. After all, as you said it yourself, you're a professional and you take good care of your toys.
Hmm.
So you're going to go to this bar that you generally have the habit of going, even if they change it from time to time in order to not be suspicious. Because while generally you are discreet in your work, the people that you work for generally have the tendency to gather unwanted attention from the police and other institutions of the state.
Right.
So the bar is changed regularly, and you are probably, according to your calculation, you're probably going to change from bar very soon. Probably the last time that you're going to go to this one and have a nice meal as Doris made them. You might even miss this bar in the
Right.
future. And after a little while, you arrive and you see that Marco is sitting in a corner, waiting nonchalantly for you to arrive.
He's going to kind of very discreetly take a look around, see who's there, make any mental notes,
Mhm.
and then that he needs to, and then he's going to kind of slowly, purposefully make his way over to where this person is sitting.
Mhm. Nothing of the ordinary in the bar. Not that you would really care, but yeah, you don't see suspicious individuals that you would think might be cops undercover. And as you take place, you can see that on the seat there is a small envelope.
He will, on his seat where he would sit.
Yeah, where you would sit.
Okay, he's going to sort of take it and put it in his coat pocket on the inside pocket.
Mm.
He doesn't check it. He knows it's probably legit.
Yes, totally legit. It's not a bomb. And the waitress will come to ask what you want to order, as Marco just hand her a bill for getting you two beers. Nothing, because you're not going to stay that long anyway.
Right.
So, how was uh, how was everything last night? Everything went okay?
you know me.
Mm,
Probably took one or two more punches than I should have, but it got done.
mm, good, good. Hmm. And how's your kid?
Let's not talk about them.
Uh, you're a funny guy, you know that. Generally, everyone is all talking about their families and all, how their kid got grades, but I can respect that. You're
He's he's
you're a
gonna lean forward
professional.
and sort of knit his fingers together, and he's gonna say, "Most of the time, they're not talking with people like you. No offense."
Ah, but you wound me. You wound me after all. Well, we we give you a generous account, and you have benefits from everyone. It's a win-win game. But enough chit chat. He hands you another envelope. We had a little bit of a problem recently. Uh, one of our covers almost got blown out by a little whistle that was a little bit too good at what she was doing, a little bit too diligent. There's nothing really urgent as it is. We do not think that she had any real idea of what happened. So we would like just to take precautions. Better safe than sorry, as they say.
I've heard something about that before.
Um, Generally, the family, as they work, they don't really tell you a lot. You know that.
Oh no, no, that's not
Oh,
what I meant. I meant he
okay.
like better safe than sorry. He's heard about being safer than sorrier. Like it was a poorly worded thing, but he's not talking about the actual like job. He's
Yeah.
talking about like I know what you mean.
Mm. He nods. Good. You have everything that you need here. Do it, and yep, as always, you will get the same amount. And if you are mm, discreet about it, as always, mm, check through the computer to make sure that you know nothing would have been left there.
He's gonna nod and say, so there's nothing pressing about this, is there?
Well, the faster you do it, the better the boss is going to feel about it.
Oh, something pissed off the boss personally.
Mm, Honestly, I don't really dwell too much into that, but you know how he feels about his little investments. He wants everything to be smooth, and he doesn't like people reminding him that basically the people that he employs are not as smart as they should be.
Looks like I better not disappoint then.
Uh, don't worry. After all, as it's your job, you generally know what happens when people do their job wrong.
I wouldn't know that.
All right. And with that, he gets up, finishing the beer. Well, as always, you can send me a message once you've done your job, and we can get on our daily lives.
psychopaths, no problem.
Hmm. All right. Have a good time. And with that, Marco gets out of the bar, leaving you alone with this craft envelope.
Same thing. He'll roll it up and put it into his jacket pocket.
Hmm. So, what do you do next?
Um, if he's at the bar, he will go and have a shot of something strong before he leaves, and then he'll head back to uh, his place to look at the information.
Hmm. Okay. So, once you get home and you open the envelope, there is a there is just picture, a picture of a young woman, and if you look behind it, you will see the address where she is probably living.
Okay. Is that all that's in there? It's like a picture and like some personal info.
There's basically the picture, her name, where she reside, and basically that she is that she works. She's a computer uh, consultant.
Okay.
But
Um.
she's a programmer. She's a programmer.
Okay. Let's see. Maybe he can do a computers check to maybe see if he can dig up anything on her.
Hmm.
Never hurts to be diligent.
Yeah. You can make the computer check if you want.
Okay. Is it intelligence computers?
Yes.
Weak. Go Google.
Okay. So you find you find her profile on Facebook.
Hmm.
Basically, it says pretty much the same thing as the photograph would suggest. Programmer. She went to the University of Washington, and she is now uh, working. She's now working for a company that will actually ring uh, ring a little bell from the back of your mind. You've seen the name before, or perhaps you heard it from some of the other mobsters that you might have frequent. It's yeah, it's a cover. It's a cover to make some placement on Wall Street
Okay.
and
Um,
get clean dirty money.
is there anything I would need to roll to like look at her pictures and see if I can like gather any intelligence about like her place, like where she lives or stuff like that, to like better
From
approach?
well, honestly, from what you can see on a Facebook profile, you have pictures. You're going through them one at a time, looking looking at her, probably getting her facial features checked, looking a little bit on who are her friends. I would say you'll probably pass 2 to 3 hours doing that, kind of
Hmm.
comparing on Google Maps to try and see the environment, as you already have, the address.
Right.
You already have the address. From what you see, She lives in a pretty standard um, place in the Bronx. Not not at all fancy, but not on the bad side of it either. And you can see that apparently she go she go to two different places apparently regularly.
Okay.
She generally goes to a theater, um, and you see actually three. There's theater. The second one is a how do we call it? Uh, a shop that sells fresh fruits, basically, without any pesticides or anything like that.
Or like a Whole Foods place.
Yeah, like this kind of place. And the third one seems to be apparently some kind of nerd club or place for programmers or game developers. You're not very sure, as you
Oh,
probably
like a web cafe.
yeah. It seems to be that. You're not very sure because it's probably your
Yeah,
son or your daughter would know a little bit more about this, but this is
yeah.
clearly
They
not
don't
your
even
area.
yeah they don't even do stuff like that. So he's like, oh, okay. Um, can I tell that if she has like from any posts she's made or any pictures or stuff that maybe if she has any roommates?
Uh, no. From what you see, she seems to be single,
Okay,
and there is no one.
good.
There's no one regularly coming from the picture of the apartment.
Okay, well, it seems like all we really need to know.
hmm So, we're going to make this as some kind of cinematic action. So, how? Tell me how your character is going to go about it. How how exactly is he going to process for this?
Okay, it would be he would probably go to the place and sort of stake it out for a
hmm
while to see it, if he can catch her going in, and presumably waiting until well after dark, um,
hmm
but not, kind of at a time where maybe a neighbor might be watching TV and might not hear what's going on next door, like not like dead of night where everyone's
Yeah.
asleep and noise would wake everyone up.
hmm
Um, but dark enough to where people might not be able to see him on the street to catch his features or whatever going in. Um,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
um, and then he would, if it's an apartment building, it probably has, a locked front door, so to
hmm
speak, like where people have to like buzz you in. So he'd
Yeah.
probably wait until someone like
hmm
kind of
Yeah.
chooses to walk in or walk out and catch the door,
hmm
and then
Okay.
yeah,
So I see. All right. So you're going to the area where she lives.
mhm,
It's not very fancy. It's not very fancy, but uh, it you would guess it has a certain charm to it,
yeah.
but you probably doesn't care. You probably don't
Uh,
care.
I mean, he would rather be doing something here than say a rich wealthy part of town.
Mhm.
Something
I
about the
see.
scum, it appeals to the scum.
Scum and villainy.
Mhm.
Okay, so you take a little bit of time observing a little bit. I would say perhaps since Marco didn't tell you that it was very urgent, but that they wanted to do it. You're going to take 1 day to observe, staying near, looking around to see the people going in, going out,
Yep.
and at some point, yeah, you will see her going out of the building. So, are you are you going to follow her, or are you going to go to try and enter to perhaps wait for her in her apartment?
Oh yeah, ambush for sure.
Okay, so as you see her off, you wait. You wait a little bit because you've kind of seen that there are people, actually a lot of people going in, going out. Perhaps there might be a drug dealer somewhere. Hmm. That might
Yeah,
explain all those people that are going in, going out.
that would definitely make sense.
So you enter the building with one of the guys, and you follow your way to the apartment of this woman,
Hmm.
and there you are. You're at the door. I would guess that as a professional, Zane got everything in hand to open locks.
Yeah.
Hmm. So you're going to open the door, but just for the sake of it, can you make a roll, please?
What would the role be?
Dexterity and larceny.
Okay, I assume that that's security in the old demon.
Oh yeah, yeah, security.
Oh yeah, got it.
Okay, so you're good. You don't have any real problem to open it. It's fairly old. It's not like those very heavy doors that are way more complicated. And you enter the apartment, and it's a little bit cozy, but you can see perhaps toys or posters that that you see regularly in your either in Jonathan or Alex's room.
Yep.
So you would perhaps think, yeah, definitely a nerd.
Yeah. Um,
The
he's
apartment. Mhm.
he's gonna like. All right, you go ahead. Yeah, if you're describing the apartment.
Mm. So as I said, the apartment is a little bit cozy. You have some some small weird statues, a little bit of posters, but still you can definitely see that there's a feminine touch in the apartment, as it is clean, not like yours, because you don't you don't really care about those things. You make the minimum to keep it clean, not that much, not that less. And you are you are in the entrance. You don't hear any noise coming from the apartment. However, yes, you do hear some background noise coming from one of the other doors, as you remember from seeing some of the posts that she made, that sometimes one of her neighbors, a nice old lady, sometimes a little bit, well, she has to put the volume a little bit up to
Right.
listen to it properly.
He's going to sort of poke around and
Hmm?
kind of through all of her stuff. And he's probably muttering under his breath like Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
So, yeah, you look around, you look your surrounding to familiarize yourself with it, and as you arrive in the living room, you can see that there's a computer on one of the desks, standing there. So what uh, what are you going to do about this computer?
Um, he's going to check and see if it's like running anything, live. Like,
Hmm.
hopefully there's not like a camera that's like picking up noise or anything like that. If
Hmm.
so, he's probably just gonna like hit the power button, just hold it, turn it off.
No, the laptop is closed.
Okay, yeah, he's not gonna worry about it then, but he will. I mean, like he wasn't told to take anything by the by his employer. I don't think.
His employers told you that basically he wanted the job to be done, and that it would also require you to make sure that there would be no informatic traces. And basically, just to be sure if there are computers and all, make sure that there's either nothing on it or just break it, you know,
Yeah.
whatever you see fit.
Okay. Well, then he'll break the computer then. He'll like take it to the bathroom and like turn off the power, throw it in the water.
Okay, so you drown the poor bastard. Uh,
She probably also has a desktop, to be honest, and he would do the same thing.
but but the Steam sales.
Oh no. Oh, she's probably not going to be happy, but
Oh no.
what you get for being a filthy demon.
Okay, so yeah, you're going through everything, and make me a perception alertness, uh, difficulty difficulty 7, as you're on you're onto something. You're basically destroying property, you hooligan.
Yes.
So
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
The rolls are all DNA.
you yeah, as you're drowning the poor computer, you hear different noises from not coming from the television, from the other apartment. You hear the distinct sound of two thump thump, and then you hear keys being introduced into a door. It seems
Okay.
that she's back.
Okay. I don't know what my character would be given to, or not given, but like what he would have. I don't know in you know World of Darkness
Well,
how difficult it is to get a suppressor.
well, honestly, honestly, your job, that's not very surprising. That wouldn't be surprising, and I would honestly kind of expect it. But you can also go with more, uh, well, with different weapons. But if indeed he has the ability to go with a gun, and considering it's the living World of Darkness, and that a gun with a silencer is not really that rare. I'm looking
Right.
at you, demon. I'm looking at you, vampire venue. So yes, you indeed have a gun with a silencer.
Okay. Well, I mean, first off, he would when he hears the keys start moving, he would turn off the water,
Mm.
and then probably screw on the suppressor and kind of like hide in the bathroom, so to speak, and like probably while she like walks in and like puts her shit down and all that, and
Mhm.
in that time screw on the suppressor and probably pop a couple of pills. Gotta be
Grabbing
nice.
pills. And as this scene happens, we are going to we're going to take a look into another place, a place that is different, and that not a lot of people know about, but that certain habitant of the world of darkness knows. We're going to go into the abyss where one demon, one slayer, going by the name of Shargaz, is in a very particular situation. He had a friend or an acquaintance, one that he somehow found kinship into. But as always within the abyss, in his darkest pit, generally it never goes very well, as they have arose the animosity of another demon. And Shargaz had a way to use a certain name to instill fear into this other one, but it doesn't mean that he is safe anymore, and perhaps he should find a way to get out. After all, it seems that his partner in it, Eridu, has also disappeared. He doesn't really know where he is or she is. It's really not important for angelic beings. But he sees, as he is trying to escape those who are after him, he sees light. There is a crack in the abyss. Perhaps he can go through it. Is he going to take the chance? Which is honestly
Yes.
a rhetorical question.
Yeah, that's not even a question. Yes.
And as you pierce through the abyss, as you get out of this black hole of nothingness, you're out. You're out. You see that the darkness is gone. It is still a little bit dark. It is dusk. It is strange for you to see this place. Is that really a city? From what you remember, cities didn't look like that. The places where humans decided to live, they weren't that high. They didn't reach so high into the sky trying to reach to the creator, and it wasn't illuminated by the fire of lights. And where are the crops? Where are the agricultures? Last time you remembered, they didn't have any of this. It seems strange, very weird. But you've heard stories coming from other demons that Modal have changed. They have changed since the last time that any of you witnessed them. They are different now, but some things resonate within Sharga's mind. He needs to find a host, because if not, he feels already the abyss trying to claim him back, trying to call him within its grasp. And with the abyss comes the inevitable punishment for one who would defy another demon of a higher stature. So Shargaz is going to try and find someone to inhabit its body. You see your eyes, the eyes of the Slayer. You see the soul of humans. You look at them. You see that some of them are strong. Some of them, not as much. They are a little bit weakened, and perhaps if you imposed your will on them you would be able to impose. Would you please make me a perception awareness?
Mhm.
To success. So, as you roam through this city trying to find a proper host, there is something that tickles at the back of your neck. Something that makes you really, really uneasy. And as you look around your surrounding, you you see that actually one of the humans that you are looking at is a little bit different, a little bit different than the others. You know how generally souls have this spark, this divine light installed by the creators in everyone's souls.
Mhm.
Well, that one doesn't shine. It's blank, completely blank, and you can see that his soul is also a little bit different. It's dark and empty, and you you see that it goes for another soul and touch the other human, and you see that the light is the light of his soul seems to quiver a little bit under the touch. And yes, you don't know how you can explain it, but something is happening to that person that is in contact with this blank human. And as you look at that, you hear something calling you. It's an ancient call, something that you perhaps would have forgotten, but that's within your soul. It resonates within you. Someone is dying somewhere. Someone is on the brink of death. Your instinct as a slayer calls you to this place. And as you go there, you can see what you would call a house, even if it is strange that it is very small, and all those houses are within a giant one. You see that there is a man. There's a man lying on the ground. He is he has his hand over his one hand is over his left eye, the other one is on his stomach. He is dying, and you can feel his soul slowly, slowly giving away to the oblivion. What is Shargaz going to do?
Well, he's probably not altogether uncomfortable with, or unfamiliar even with this sort of thing, and I suppose that he would. I suppose he would attempt to inhabit it.
Hmm. And you you enter this body as it is fighting. It's fighting because it feels that something is intruding into its husk. The soul is quivering as it feels your touch. the touch of death going against him, and it tries to hold on, but your will your will is too strong. You are a slayer, once an angel of the Almighty himself. The soul of a human being is not really a problem for you, and you would have perhaps had mm, a sense of guilt for doing so, because humans, they have always been precious to you, haven't they?
Yes, very much so.
But this one, as you are fighting to take the body, you feel something cold and icy within him. You can see the story of a young man who had a promising future, a loving wife, and yet somehow he was also a slayer in himself. But not like you, no. No, you served a purpose once. This one, he killed for money. He killed for wealthly and earthly attachment. He killed without any single remorse, because it was his job to do so, not because it was the time of this person. No, simply because someone else has judged that they needed to die. You can see the cries of a woman who is screaming at him. In his memories, you can see children crying, shutting down their doors, screaming at him, and him remaining cold to all this, remaining untouched, uncaring. How does that make this Slayer feel?
Slightly offended.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's these uh, mortals are not at all like the ones that he remembers having dealt with in his distant past.
Mm.
Um, it's you know almost as if you were meeting an alien. Like
Mm.
it's familiar and yet it's really really not familiar at all. So you know all of this going on, uh, and the sense of need that he has for finding an anchor to
Mm-hmm.
this place. He will probably
Mm-hmm.
squash out this
Mm-hmm.
dark little thing.
All right. And you indeed push out the soul of the mortal, cursing it to be forever forgotten. As you start to breathe for the first time in what seems eon, you're not very sure how much time has passed since you were vanished into this dark pit. You start to breathe, and oh, all those memories, they assail you at once. You have all his memories squashing within yours, trying to stay put, trying to remember who you are, but you are not. You're not immortal. You're not really one. You are something else, but all those memories are conflicted. They mash against each other as a sea would mash against a boat. And you also feel something that you are familiar with, as you experimented a lot in the abyss, but it's still strange. You feel pain. Pain because even if you're there, the body itself is dying. And as you see, probably as you get up, looking at yourself in the mirror, you can see that even if the pain is still there, you can see that the wound on your eyes is slowly starting to stitch itself together as your power, your power is working to reshape this body to repair its scarred tissues, freshly given by apparently the one that he was supposed to kill. How strange, as the memories flowed through your mind. Apparently, he was ambushing her and made a mistake. He didn't put his phone on vibration, and as a twisted of fate, this message that he didn't listen to was sent back to him. And this threw him off. He lost his concentration and missed his target. However, his target didn't miss him. She tried to escape, and as he chased her, she attacked him with a kitchen knife. And yes, this is where you found him. You get, as your body is now fully repaired, you get two impressions, two memories. You know, you know that generally, apparently, those contracts they continue if you do not end the contract. Either another one will make it happen, or they will make sure that you take your end of the bargain, and you know that generally they go after family members. And that leads us to the message. Is Shargaz now human, or barely human as of now, going to listen to the message?
Um, yeah, he will probably now understand the significance of this device and
Mm-hmm.
um, use it as such. Doesn't really have much to go on right now, so.
Mm-hmm. And as you put the strange device onto your ear, you hear a voice. It's the voice of a female. The voice of a female that seems to be, well, either angry or perhaps blasé, someone who apparently has the habit of talking to this machine instead of the one that she called her husband, because you recognize the voice. It apparently, according to the memories, belongs to the wife of this body. And the wife is remembering her poor excuse of an ex-husband that tomorrow is his daughter's birthday. So she asked him for once not to be a piece of shit and to get her something and be there rather than leaving a card with a few bucks saying happy birthday and nothing else.
Hmm.
So now our demon face choices. What
Yeah,
will be the choices that he wants to make as of today?
he's you know kind of in this unfamiliar place, and he's piecing together from this mortal's memories why this event that uh,
mm,
this other person that this body knew at one time, um, these things are important, the birthday and the gift, and being present when you are not, when this person is not normally present, all this other stuff. He's trying to
mm,
like piece it together. Um, I assume that he's just like standing in this other person's apartment, like
mm.
just.
And I'm going to use one of your merits,
Uh,
common sense. You have something on the back of your mind saying that perhaps, perhaps one mortal shouldn't remain in someone that he tried to kill, because apparently they are wielder of justice in this world, and that perhaps if he wished to continue on his quest, or continue to, well, live, as he knows that generally people like him don't end well um, in those places of justice. Perhaps now would be the time to wash up some of the blood of his hand and trot out of the apartment.
he uh, what does he remember of the encounter with the woman? Did she leave the apartment?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
she left the apartment running.
Okay, and did she like leave the door open and all that?
Yes, the door is open.
Okay. So yeah, he'll kind of like put that together like, oh, well, this probably um is what uh
Hmm.
this mortal would refer to as undue attention if someone were to see it. So he's gonna
Hmm.
try and clean himself up really quickly, take anything that is his, and then leave the apartment. Since he's wearing gloves, he's not really worried about, you know, fingerprints.
Hmm. And as you exit the apartment, cleaning up a little bit of your mess, you get out of the building, looking around with eyes that aren't yours, and you take a little while to adjust to those lights. There's a new life that awaits for you in this place. You do not know yet what or how, but you get the feeling that perhaps, perhaps this is the beginning of something very interesting. And with that, I believe that we can call it a scene. Thank you, player, for playing, watcher for watching, and we will see you next time on the second part of this little installment, perhaps to see the other side of the story. Toodles!